Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. Today, we're going to be talking about Quantum Ascension Acceleration System with the amazing Maria Martinez. And this is the first time Maria's with us, y'all, and it's a really special wisdom that emanates through her and that she invites us into within ourselves. And how does she do that? Well, you're going to find out on today's show because you're going to have direct experiences. We will get into live Q&A. So the potential for you to dive in and feel some of this multi-dimensional activator energy that Maria brings so alive in session work and on conversations like this. And Maria's also going to take us through a process. It's going to be perfect for our audience and for the replays for the BTO community. As we dive in today into the call. So Maria Martinez, she's a human potential activator, wealth consciousness activator, multidimensional healer, energy alchemist, light language channel, medical intuitive, business success coach, and speaker. She supports you in identifying your gifts and talents, discovering your life purpose, accessing your full potential, and achieving happiness, joy, fulfillment, and prosperity. My goodness, Maria, welcome to the call. And
thank you.
And how do you do all those things? What is emanating through you? It's how do you experience this embodiment that you get to illuminate for others?
Yeah, it's really interesting. And as you were sharing that information, I just got this beautiful picture of a foundation being built. Like we come back to that initial foundation of who we are, which is abundance, prosperity, creative beings. And then from that place, we really can have it all. So we can have the freedom of creating our design life and our perfect health and our perfect relationships. So the way the information comes to me is, the ideal, and then what's preventing that person from being in their ideal, their ideal life, ideal health, ideal career success. And then we navigate through whatever's in between to restore them, bring them back to that blueprint of who they are. So it's really beautiful. I've been doing this work since I was 5 or 6. I started working with my angels at that point. And that's the work that we were doing at that point. We're multidimensional beings. We're spirit, we're soul, we're emotional body, mental body. We're physical body, we're inner child, we're the victim part of us, we're the ego. And the very first work that I started doing was restoring the spirit back to the individual. And what that meant was they could be their authority. They could be sovereign. They could be free to choose and design their life. So, and then from there, of course, then we look at, well, what's my design? What do I want my life to look like? And then we begin to choose. And then we begin to take action. We begin to create, we begin to move into that intentionality of creation. And of course, there's so many layers in between, but that's the work that we're talking about.
That's what you're talking about. And you say with your connection with the angels and all that, is that streaming through when you're sitting with someone or you're in group session like this, that is it that level of consciousness that you're accessing that turns on there? Or is it something that just naturally starts streaming through in your beingness because of a resonance that you carry with it?
Yes, when I'm in that space of serving somebody, it's a natural state of being where the information flows through. The angels will come in, other ascended masters will come in, other galactic beings will come in to work, either facilitate for the individual or hold the space for the work that we're doing. But it's a natural state that I move into, that I learned to move into, from the early years of doing this work and having my connection with my angels and having connection with guides.
And I love how you're able to then help other people actualize it. So again, through the relationship that you've built with these energies, with these angelics, with ascended masters, with galactics, again, with benevolent beings, and have you expanded into that as you demonstrate to others to actualize their potential as well. That connection comes through also, and it's again, it's not like you're a trans channel and you're going out and you're coming back in. And that speaks volumes to me, because you've built that relationship. You can say you go up and talk to the angels, but for me, it's like you can't help but to be that.
Yeah, and many of us have that ability. I get asked that question a lot. What are my gifts and what can I access? And in reality, when we move into that space of being, well, we get to choose, right? We get to choose who we want to be and who we want to become. And as we move into that level of alignment, that level of surrender, we get out of our own way, out of the intellect, out of the judgment, out of the, am I doing this right? Out of the, am I powerful enough or am I good enough? When we move out of that space and we move into that alignment, we can all access different information, whatever our intention is, and whoever we choose to work with, and whatever we choose to become, as a healer, as a light worker, as a channel, as even as a medium of just receiving information, downloading information and presenting it. We all have that ability. And it's great to see when people are working with me as well, that they can tap into. And then as they continue their practice, they become who they want to become and how they want to serve the world.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So when you see the limitations in someone, or the blocks that are coming through, whether that's through trauma, limiting beliefs, or the various forms that can engender those blocks that keep us from activating our potential, how is it that you see it? Is it a sense? Do you see like sludge in people's system? Does it present in a way that there's one of your clairs that ignites that can sense it a particular way? And then once you get there, how do you move beyond those limitations with someone?
That's a really good question. So the way I see the limitations, or the way I feel, or the way I hear, is all of the above. When I'm working with somebody, and let's say we're tuning to money, like what is their relationship with money? I'll see a story of something that happened in their life, whether it was connected to their own childhood of themselves or connected to their family members. So I'll see a story connected to that. And then I'll see how that story is showing up in their relationship, either rejecting money or holding on to that consciousness, whether it's lack or poverty consciousness or feeling unworthy of it. And then I'll look at the energy of money itself. How's money moving around their field? Because it's really not separate from us. Money is energy and money is love. So if we see it as energy and love, then it's part of who we are. When it's separate, it shows up. It shows up as, I have to work for it. I have to earn it. I have to prove that I'm worthy of it. I have to work hard. So there's a lot of conditions connected to it. So I see, I hear, I feel. And then when we see all of this information coming together and how it's unfolding, then acknowledging, so having a conversation and then working with the energy to move that out. So it's this energy. So the feeling of the energy, or the look of the energy, may look like a heaviness. It may even feel like a heavy rock, like a density in the body. And it may even show up in their physical body as weight. So when we start moving this energy out, we alchemize that energy into light, into love, into possibility, into joy, into I get to choose, into choice. Then there's a lightness happening. But then we want to continue that. That's sort of the beginning. So what are we going to replace it with? So that's when we start going back to the divine blueprint. What are we going to replace it? We're going to replace it with, I am deserving, and I want to access, I choose not to access my divine right inheritance. So then we move that consciousness into that knowing. So we start moving the energy, we start amplifying the energy of the individual so that it matches that statement that they're saying. So we look at what other limitations are there, what other belief systems are there, or even attachments, entity attachments, or other implants that are there that are holding them at this vibration. And then we move them so they resonate with the truth. What the truth is that abundance is part of who they are. The money is there to support them. The money is love, money is energy. And then sometimes we even go into their lifetimes. When there are cords and they extend out, we follow the cords, or we ask the lifetimes to open up, just the ones that we need to work on, the ones that we need to heal. And then we can complete what that is, and the karma and the soul contracts and the ancestral contracts.
So
pictures, so pictures, information, sounds, words, statements, that's how it all shows up. That's a big story. And then we begin to work with the different layers of it.
there's a couple words that you mentioned that just ping loudly because they are trigger words in different particular ways. And then there are the energetic entities. I'd love it if you talk a little bit more about that and bring in your consciousness about how that consciousness works through us, with us, against us, and how we can really step into our mastery by having an awareness and knowing how to be in correspondence with those things.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good question too. So the first thing that I want to say is that when we have attachments like this, we're not in our power. We're giving our power away, whether we recognize it or not recognize it, because that's what they attach. We're not in our sovereign state. We're not the authority of our lives. We're not the authority of our dimensional bodies. When we notice these entities, and these entities can come from different places, can come from ourselves. If we have deep grief, deep sadness, it becomes its own consciousness. And it gets attached and it gets hooked into that victim story and it keeps cycling through. So that's one attachment, one entity. The other entities are others that come from, from other things like other people or from places, whether there was that type of energy, anger, rage, or just low hatred, like kind of demonic energy, evil energy, or just non-benevolent energy. They can come from that state. And it hooks on to what we're running. So if we're running grief and sadness, we're not in a power. This is taking over. That feelings are taking over. So it's easily for those entities to hook into that. And then, of course, we have the other entities that come from other realms or lower realms or outside our universe. So when I look at the entities, which is actually what I was referring to the early work that I was doing, it was like doing an exorcism. Pulling things out of the spirit so the spirit could be finally free and awakened to its true potential. So that's what I do with the individuals. We look at, well, what is this about? And a lot of times I find that it's ours. It's our stuff from our childhood. It's the trauma that we're cycling, that it now became a consciousness or a thing that is not now attached, that operates against us or separate from us, that wants to keep us because that's all it knows. That's all it knows, doesn't know a way out. So the way we work with those energies, and sometimes they look like an image that may be scary, an image that may be something that we don't want to embrace. But it's how a part of our consciousness is showing us how we relate, like that part of our consciousness. So if we talk about the inner child or a little part of us, let's say 6, 7 years old, that had a traumatic experience and now they feel ugly, they feel rejected, they feel broken, they feel unimportant. So they're creating this image of themselves. And a lot of times that's how this energy shows up in front of us. And instead of us opening your arms and saying, I love you, I'm sorry that I wasn't aware, or I'm sorry that you're still in pain, we reject it. We run away from it because a lot of times it's our natural reaction when we see something that is not appealing or something that doesn't feel what we expected to feel or look. So we work with that, restoring our self-love, restoring love to all parts of ourselves. And as we do that, we heal those energies. We have, we bring it out in front, we have a conversation with it, we give it what it needs, and then it heals. So we're elevating that part of us. We're raising its vibration and we're giving it what it needs so it can be free to either reintegrate back to us or go to source. So that's one aspect. And the other entities that are not ours, we simply remove them and send them back to source because they're not ours. They are just holding us back and creating a block around us. That can also show up as a weapon, like a psychic attack, especially if it's somebody projecting their feelings, their fears, their emotions, their story into us. Like family members tend to do that, but not purposefully. Like if they want the best for us and they fear that the actions that we're taking or the road that we're on is not the right path, their fear becomes a projection, sort of an attack in a field. It creates an anchor and pulls us back. So when we recognize that, we can simply give them back to them, give them their fear, give them their belief system back, and we can shore up our boundaries, strengthen their boundaries so we can move back into our authority. other entities that come from the lower realms, demons, wicked demons, those type of things, we can also release them either by ourselves or with the help of the ascended masters or the angels or source. The same thing with other galactic beings like draconians and Anunnakis that are interfering with our DNA, interfering with our mission, interfering with us stepping into our potential. We remove them. It's almost like psychic surgery, right? We remove all the pieces and all the layers that are not part of who we are, and we restore that. So we restore ourselves by recognizing that we are source. We restore ourselves by recognizing that we are the authority and we're the designers, and that we're now taking ownership of our mind, body, spirit, or multidimensional bodies. So that's sort of the summary. It is a process, but it's a very powerful process of restoration, recoding, regenerating, and recalibrating who we are into the codes, into who we're meant to be, into the higher frequency, source frequency that we can embody and are able to embody in any moment.
Yeah, and I think that is real. Well, I know that the really important component of that, again, is the regenerating, the re-embodying, because you can have someone come in and assist you to lift something out that was keeping you stifled. But if you maintain the same level of consciousness of where you got stifled from, there's nothing that's going to prevent that consciousness to return.
Absolutely.
And so there's so many, again, in communities for many years, there were so many trends. Well, this entity removal here and that, you need to protect, and heavy boundaries, and the boundaries are set in fear, and it's not about regeneration and recalibration. It's just about getting rid of whatever felt so uncomfortable. But without that new foundation, it was just a pattern that was going to repeat itself eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so it's through this quantum ascension accelerating system that you've created and that you work people with, I'm assuming
Absolutely.
that, again, that recalibration and that empowerment from being able to see from another vantage point and function
Mm-hmm.
from that place really sets a new trajectory in a place.
Absolutely. Yeah. When people come and they say, I want to create something different. I want to manifest more clients, or I want to manifest a new career or a new person. Well, who you are now cannot do that. Otherwise you would have that already. So we have to, we have to release and remove and elevate and upgrade and move into a higher way of vibration and beingness, so that you can be at that higher level, so that you can attract, resonate with what you truly desire. And then we keep doing it over and over again until you are that version of yourself that can hold a container for more wealth, more abundance, more prosperity, that relationship. So those patterns and cycles and feelings and stories are now coming back and creating the old.
And I love the way that you describe it also, as you call it divine human alchemy.
Yes.
That's occurring. That's something that we can all easily kind of go, wait, something's changing in the alchemy. But again, you also call it the art of divine human alchemy. And
yes.
Why do you go there? Why do you go to the art of divine human alchemy?
The art, because when you think about it is divine human alchemy, right? That's what we're doing. But the art is the process of it. It's the awareness, the decisions that we make. It's the actions that we take, the choosing our authority, the choosing to be sovereign. So that's the art part of it. When we're not making those choices, so we are a multidimensional being, right? And all of us have the capacity and ability to be in the higher realms, but there has to be a bridge. If we want to manifest something, if we want to create a different life, a different reality, there's an action to be taken. There's an intention that needs to be set. So that's the part of the art. Art is creative. It's designing. It's configuring. It's course correcting. And we do that. We do that every day. We wake up and we make a decision, create an intention. And if it doesn't go our way because something triggered us, that's the course correct. That's the art of it. We don't get stuck or we don't get upset because it didn't work out the way we intended. It's like, okay, let me step back and look at this. What is this telling me? What is this about? And let me course correct into that new decision, higher decision that is going to move me closer to that design, to what I truly desire. And it also gives you the empowerment because you have that flexibility of, okay, this didn't look like what I wanted it to look like. We just reset the and starting.
So, and I know you work with that in regards to finances, in regards to relationship, and I'm sure a lot of your clients have had a lot of success with it. One of the big ones that are that there's so much hope and despair for is people who suffer from illness and disease. And I'm always careful to tell people that by going through a particular energetic system that is going to just vanish. How do you deal with that within the system? How is it that we can tell people it's like, hey, we're going to help you process through the energetics, the entities, the belief systems, some of the physicality that's creating the density in your system, and provide not just the hope, but actual results, Maria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we want to remember that we are creators, right? And that our mind is very powerful. When our mind decides, makes the decision, so let's say our mind decides, I'm broken. So your body will say, oh, well, let me find that part of you that is broken. And it will create that for you. So when we can rewire our mind to new possibilities, and then we can activate the intelligence in the body to reset and come back and heal itself, because the body can heal itself, then the body would do that. So everything within ourselves is consciousness. We are a conscious being. Even if we haven't been connecting to the consciousness of our body has a lot of information to share. So when we look at the symptom that is there, the symptom has information. It can tell us it came from this trauma, or it came from this belief system, or it's because of this nutrition. You haven't been taking care of yourself. So then we can give it what it wants or what it needs. We can shift that energy out of self-hate to self-love. We can release the belief systems of something's broken to I am perfect just the way I am. Then we can up-level the nutrition as well to the constitution of our body. What does our body need? Because we're all individuals and we're all very different from each other. So what does our body need that it really longing for? And when we give it that more water, more nutrition, conscious food, then it's going to internally elevate itself. And when it elevates itself, the immune system also elevates. We're boosting it. We're boosting the energetic and the physical immune system when we're changing all of those things in our mind and in our emotional body and in our physical body. So the body now has the opportunity to heal itself. As we're healing, our heart space, the body also has that space to heal itself because we're no longer holding that inner space. In the physical body, when we look at our physical body, it is physical, but it's also energetic. It holds the emotions. It also needs the nutrition to thrive. So we want to look at all those three things when we're looking at the physical body. And often we can also bring the frequency of that nutrition into the body so that the body can start elevating, can start healing itself and restoring itself back to the higher frequency, source frequency. So when people work with me on health, we look at the root cause that created that. And we support it as well through the nutrition, supplements, through other practices that they can do, self-care and self-love practices. Those can be walking, going for a walk, moving the body, allowing the body to move so that it can move the energy that is stuck, either through breath, somatic release, things like that the body can now move and release, dislodge that energy that is being held in the organs and organ system. And then we can also look at the DNA, because the DNA holds a lot of data, epigenetic data that has been transferred over from or ancestors or family members, and that carries the belief systems of dis-ease, disorder, symptoms, imbalance. As I age, my body deteriorates. So if we can also work with that aspect of the physical body, again, we're reprogramming it in the mind and saying, wow, I can move into a new possibility. I can choose something different. I'm not broken, or there's nothing to fix, or I don't have to be in pain, or I don't have to have this disease. I didn't choose that. So thank you. And so it's a beautiful, powerful practice. And in this system, we do look at the body, and we look at human potential, self-actualization, divine human alchemy, and everything that supports you and creates that foundation of stepping into that new version of you, and supports every level of who you are, from the physical body to the spiritual to the human potential.
And it's definitely an act of where we put our attention, we grow. It has a lot to do with new neural pathways, holding a potential frequency, activating towards that, and reaching out for levels of support that are whole. And this is definitely a component that can liberate maybe some of those places that weren't moving. And I'm also a component that there's miracles in everything. And sometimes when we do this type of work, Western medicine, when properly aligned, is appropriate, and it's working in conjunction with the symphony that shows up, in particular for us, and following the guidepost along the way as we get to know ourselves more, have greater confidence to listening to that inner knowing, and then follow through to take action on the holistic approach, which is wonderful. You said that you look at DNA. How do you look at DNA?
Yeah, so just the way I look at the cells, that's the way I look at entities, that's the way I look at the multidimensional bodies. When I tune in, it's a picture of the DNA that presents itself. And it shows me the different codes, the different genes. It shows me what's broken, what's overacting, what's not on, and what's missing. So as we move through the DNA, we repair the ones that are broken, we tune down the ones that are overactive, and then we repair or bring in the ones that are missing for the DNA. And we're looking at the divine DNA as well, meaning that we have our DNA, but there's also the source DNA, God DNA. And we want to bring it into that alignment. So the alignment is that there is no disease, there is no symptom, there is no, we don't have to degenerate. So we look at initially the symptoms that the person presents itself with and what's coded into their DNA, and then we release that DNA. And the way it shows up is just the way you see it in a textbook, double helix together, moving. Sometimes it's actually not moving because it's stuck, and sometimes it has a code over it that shows me almost like calcification. So when we free the DNA and we can repair the codes, and then we integrate it back into the master DNA, and then from the master into the mirror cells, stem cells, and then to the whole body, it's the whole cellular system lights up in the new frequency that we just brought in, new source frequency, the feeling.
Amazing. And this applies in the way that you work again with finances, relationship, with health. It's all part of the same system that can go into those places that can use that fertilizer of high light vibrational consciousness to allow it to get to an actualized state of a full potential. So that's wonderful. I want to get into your special offer a little bit, and I definitely want to take live calls. But I'm also intrigued. Again, I've had a session with you, and so I've had a chance to experience different aspect of the gifts that you bring to us. But a lot of people on BTO are new to you, and there are these healing chambers that you work with as well. How do you bring that into your practice, and what do people get to experience there?
Yeah, those are really those are incredible spaces within the quantum field that are available to us for us to heal, and they have different purposes, but ultimately is aligning you back to your divine blueprint. Some of them will come in, and then, like for instance, the crystal healing. So when you go into the crystal chamber, it activates your crystalline level, your crystalline body, and restores that aspect of you into the light and raises your vibration. There are other things that happen in that space. And then there's another one that kind of looks like a white room. You go into this white room, and that's working with the DNA. So you come in, and you're surrounded by the Council of 12 in that healing chamber, and they work with your DNA because you're ready to do an upgrade, or because there's an upgrade to be done in your DNA. So it's a recode that's happening in each of these chambers, depending on which one you go into. One, it could be at the spiritual level, one could be at the crystalline level, the other could be done at the DNA level, cellular level. The way they came about, this was a couple of years ago, when I was going in. I needed some healing for myself. I had some inflammation happening in my body. Years ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and it was pretty much under control, and certain things happened, and I had this flare up. So when I was in meditation, my guides came in, and they took me into this healing chamber. It was the white healing chamber. It just looks like a white room. And I could see them working on my body on the cellular level and the DNA level. And I could see and feel and experience, but I was just, laying down and receiving it all. When I came, when I was back in my body, there was no pain. There was this surge of energy and vitality and this clarity that I now had. So that was the first healing chamber that they kind of downloaded. And then after that, the other chambers came in, the pyramid, the crystal pyramid as well. The other chamber, the crystal chamber, and then the healing river. So these beautiful chambers that are very loving, that create the space for ascension, that create the space for your next level, to quantum leap into the next level of who you are, that work at different levels. Even though the focus is at the physical level or at the spiritual level, all your other bodies are benefiting from that, because we're not separate from our multidimensional bodies. They all work together. So the focus is wherever that root cause is, but it extends to the other systems, the other layers of who you are. And the experience is, wow, I feel restored. I feel like a different person. I feel clear, energized, revitalized. So they're very powerful.
Wow. Amazing what comes through, Maria. I want to get into some Q&A. I want the audience to ask questions and experience you directly through them rather than through me. So I want to open to that. I know we're going to get into a process in a little bit. Are you guided to do that now, Maria, or should we wait? It kind of feels like we should wait on that a little bit.
Yeah, let's take a couple of questions, because that'll get us into the process, and then we can get into it.
So I'm going to start promoting some of y'all to panelists over here. And as people coming online, what's your favorite part about the work that you do, Maria?
It's the seeing people own their true potential and manifest it and bridge that into their life. That's the best part, because I know what it is and I know what it can do, but when I can see other people accessing it, harnessing it, and then manifesting what they desire, it's amazing. It's why I'm here.
I love that. It's why you're here, right? Without a doubt. So beautiful. All right, let's get into some Q&A here, and let's start with user 1387. Driving in your car, be safe as you unmute. 13, can I get you to unmute your microphone? You're driving. I'm going to ask you to be careful. I'll come back to you in a little bit if you can find your unmute button. Actually, let me do this, see if this helps.
Unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, welcome.
Sorry, the new system, and I couldn't work it out.
Yes.
Hi, Maria and John. Thanks for your work. I've had a bit of a huge loss in my life recently, and I'm trying to work through, process the grief and the victim, the victim energy. How are we best to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first of all, so I'm just going to tap into your spirit right now. And, you know, I when I talk, it's already happening. So when I tap into your spirit, well, first of all, we want to understand that this is part of what we're here, right? You know, experiencing what happens in our life. But it's not here to take us out. It's not here to take from us. It's actually here for us to move into a new possibility and a new possibility within ourselves. Everything that happens in our lives, it's an opportunity for us to upgrade. So as I'm talking to you, I can see the energy of grief moving up into your throat. So if you can,
Yep.
go ahead and take a deep breath. And it does really feel like you're ready to complete it, ready to let it go. But there's actually a fear attached to that. The grief for you has created sort of an avoidance. Like if I'm attached to the grief, then I don't have to show up in other ways, or I don't have to be, or I don't have to. So it's this energy of avoiding that is behind the grief. So the grief is sort of what you're using as the shield. So we're going to go ahead and just embrace new opportunities, new possibilities. We want to understand that the fear is just an indication of something new. And the future is blank. We can design it. So go ahead and take a deep breath. So I can feel that moving up higher into the throat, coming into the mouth. Go ahead and take one more deep breath and just take a deep breath and just release it. And so this is about you knowing that you're safe, you knowing that you're supported, you knowing that this is a new level for you, and it's okay for you to focus and allow and receive what is meant for you. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah, I feel really nervous, a bit panicky.
Mm-hmm. So now we want to go ahead and ground you. So this is the stage where now that's released, we want to come back to where do we want to go from here and how do we want to move from here? So we want to move into feeling grounded, feeling supported, having connection, knowing that we're not alone, knowing that the universe, we are in divine partnership with the universe. And whatever, you know, as we move forward, the answers will be there, the solutions will be there. Go ahead and ground into that, especially knowing that you're not alone. Go ahead and bring yourself in. Beautiful. So I see a light, almost like a halo on top of you. So this for me shows that you're ready for something bigger. The fear is an illusion. The fear was holding on to something in the past, and not wanting to move forward, because moving forward meant leaving what you love behind. And you're not leaving what you love behind, it's actually coming along with you. Everything that you are, everything that you love is coming along with you. So we want to understand that. We want to understand that we're actually, we're not losing anything. We're in the space of, completion. There was a completion that happened, and now you're ready for something new. Go ahead and take a deep breath and go ahead, come into that space. Beautiful. Yeah, and I can see that halo that was sitting on top of your head now coming in. It almost felt like it was there for quite some time. And you were in the right place to receive it. Now you are, as you're recognizing, realizing that it's okay for you to move forward. It's okay for you to have more, choose more, create more. Go ahead and take a deep breath and receive it all. Beautiful.
Okay, I feel more peaceful.
Beautiful. So from this point forward is continue to choose peace and open up your heart to receive. Ask for what is the new possibility for me? What is the new possibility, opportunity for me? And then trust that. Beautiful.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I just feel a bit bit heartbroken, but yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, so continue to hold on to that peace in your heart. And remember that in the moment of now, you're at peace. In the moment of now, You hold beautiful memories in the moment of now. You can let go. In the moment of now, you're safe. Yeah. And you want to continue to fill that space with love, with compassion, with loving kindness. Beautiful.
Okay, good. I felt peace. That's good.
Mm-hmm. There's still a release that was in the heart space. It almost felt like an energy, kind of an entity that moved out. It kind of looked like it had different tentacles, almost like an octopus kind of energy, just because it had different layers of it, and it just moved out. But it was in between, so it moved out. So again, we want to continue to hold this space of I am peace, and continue to hold the space of unconditional love within you. So raise your vibration and hold that space for new possibilities in forward movement. Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Thank you for calling, love. And come back and listen to the replay. And
Will do. Thank you.
one very important thing that I want to reiterate to as a perspective, that as things arise, oh my God, there was something in me or something holding on to me, and it gets released, it can be very easy to go back and go, I don't want that back in. How do I stay away from it? I don't want that back. I'm afraid I got weight. I don't feel good. That must be back in me again. And so we actually start meeting in vibrational accord with that which we were trying to separate from. And so the part of being in what is good, what am I enjoying, what is bringing me joy, where do I witness love in others and in myself, and choosing that higher frequency is what allows the shift to not only take effect, but to stabilize within you. Again, if we go back, where am I going to be victimized, or where am I going to be hurt again, or when is my heart going to be broken yet one more time? We're just dropping back into it. And you could have raised up a couple of octaves, but what if you can reach up a whole scale? And that's what Maria's inviting you, all of us, into. Up into a whole nother scale. So be conscious and love yourself so much to remind yourself to hold that high light frequency, just because it feels so amazing, if for anything else.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, love. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's continue here. Let's go to user 1432. Welcome to the call.
Hi, thank you. I got to see Maria at Conscious Life Expo, but I didn't get a chance to hear her talk, and she was fabulous there, and beautiful children accompanying her.
I was there too. I saw her. Yes.
I wish I had seen you, John.
That would have been fun.
My question, Maria, is something that I think many of us deal with, and it's kind of balancing humbleness with kind of being your own cheerleader. And for me personally, I think a lot of that is cultural, and also maybe some teachers or programs, you know, we've gone through, they're always like, watch your ego, or be careful and be humble. And for me personally, I never felt like, you know, you hurt or kick out the ego. It's a wound that you're trying to heal. But I was wondering if you could assist me with that, because that's something I really struggle with, humbleness versus kind of being my own cheerleader.
Yeah, so what you said about kicking it out, we're not, right? It's part of who we are. So it's part of our family. It's a member of our family. So we actually want to embrace our ego. We want to actually, every part of us, we want to embrace the victim, the inner child, the ego, and of course the higher dimensions of who we are into oneness. So that's what we want to remember, that we are one. And in that oneness, we are all everything, which is, when you said humbleness, the translation for me is living in gratitude, right? Living in gratitude, living in the state of joy, living in the state of compassion. So it feels like for you, a different definition of what it is that you want to become or trying to embody, and embodying that feels so natural to you. When I look at you now and I look at that energy of humbleness, it almost feels like you're repelling it. because that creates a constriction within you. If I'm humble, then I can't be that. I can't ask for more, or I can't go bigger, and I can't show up in the world as big as I want to show up. So give it a different definition. I experience humbleness and gratitude. So I am grateful for who I am and all the work that I do, the impact that I create in the world, how I serve everyone around me, how I show up in the world that creates a space for others to step into more of their potential. And I honor myself for that. So the honoring of yourself is also, I am humble because I recognize that it's more than this physical being that is here. It's the light, it's the divinity, it's the essence within me that is also working through me to create the space for everyone. And then when we honor that part of ourselves, then we also move into I am enough. And I am worthy of designing my life in the way that I want to design it, to show up in the world and serve millions, create an impact globally, and receive. So I live in gratitude of who I am, and I honor myself for who I am, and I receive generously. So you're breaking down the belief systems around humbleness, or breaking down the belief systems around culture that are preventing you to step out and embody who you truly are authentically. A beautiful, powerful divine being, a beautiful goddess energy that just wants to shine the brilliance, express herself to the world, and be at peace with who you are, in alignment with who you are, and be unapologetic. So go ahead and feel into that. See how you can embody that awareness, that consciousness, that beingness.
Yeah. I think by adding an extension to the word humbleness is, I feel the shift with that, the humbleness and ingratitude with being able to do what I do, and that this is something bigger than just simple me or who I am.
When I saw you tune into that, I saw the breaking down of the barriers around you, sort of the walls that you have put down. And it was almost like saying, oh yeah, that's right. Let me just take down all these limitations that were placed around me, or that I accepted around me, living into the expectations of others, what others think humbleness is, what other things I should be or look like as I show up in the world in my body of work, or who I am and how I serve. So there was an awareness, there was an aha, and I saw that shift into, yeah, that's right. I'm going to choose something completely different. I'm going to step into who I am. I'm going to step into my power, and I'm going to be unapologetically me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. It's wonderful to see you. Y'all, so again, unlocking those codes and those frequencies of stepping into just how amazing you are, but are you afraid to demonstrate it? Like, something in us knows that we're amazing.
Right.
We just do. And y'all can not smile at me or smile. It doesn't matter. You just are. But getting down to the core of that, because, we talk about going down to the root of a limiting belief, going down to the core of entity attachment or pattern that's keeping us in a cycle of suffering. But underneath that root, there's brilliance. There's a crystalline consciousness that exists. So when we dig enough, when we pull those other roots up, what beauty is there? What of your magnificence is being excavated in that? And it's not outside of you, it's reflected in. It's like you're excavating truth within yourself. And Maria does this, and she invites you into that with this QAAS, Quantum Ascension Acceleration System. And I'm speaking about it this way, y'all, because I'm building up the energy into what may be available to you as you go through the special offer, which is significantly discounted, by the way, with 2 different special offers that you might want to participate in. We're going to get into a process a little bit later in the call. I still want to take more Q&A because I'm feeling more of the energy from the Q&A as well. But y'all, give yourself a few minutes to follow along here and click on the special offer link, because this may be something that might pique your interest and you may want to dive into. Maria, with that, before Maria dives in, the link for the special offer is underneath the video. you'll see the special offer button. There's also a link in the chat box. It's a blue link that you can find on there. If you're listening to the replay and you don't find the box for whatever reason, just go into our marketplace, which is found at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace. And you'll find Maria's picture, the special offer, and you can access it there as well. And with that, Maria, I'd love it if you would explain to everybody what they're going to receive and the benefits of diving deeper in this with you.
Beautiful. Thank you. So this is a beautiful, powerful system. And first of all, I want to say that everything that I create is downloaded. It comes from source. So it's already coded for your ascension. And it's a system that addresses the different parts of who we are, that addresses moving us out of a lower vibration. First of all, it creates the space for us to move into a higher frequency more easily. It moves us into the space where we can recalibrate, we can recode who we are into who we want to become, because who we want to become, we already are. So it facilitates that process of embodiment. And as we move into that space, we tap into different areas. We tap into self-actualization and what is involved with self-actualization, the intention, the focus, the clarity in self-actualization, becoming limitless, becoming fearless, becoming unstoppable. And then we move through the sections, through the different modules. The other area is human potential. Who are we as a human potential? What's available to us? And that is moving from the victim, moving from the pain to choosing, I don't have to be in suffering, or I don't have to be in survival. I can be in the design. I can be the master of my destiny. I can be a conscious creator. And then the process of becoming that version of yourself, or that embodiment, so that you can now, with authority, begin to design your life. And then the other section is bioquantum. We are an organism of consciousness. And this consciousness within itself is also the temple, the vessel of the divine and our own higher consciousness. So we want to first create that connection with who we are. And then we want to also honor our body as that vessel. And then we also want to support the body. So we want to bring the body into that alignment so that it can fully embody, that it can fully hold the space for the divinity, with divine essence, with that divine intelligence within ourselves. And we do that by releasing the lower energies. So we look at the body systems and release from the energies, emotions, belief system stories that are creating physical imbalance, symptoms in the body, or dis-ease in the body. So again, we want to raise the vibration by awakening the intelligence of the physical body so that it can become our powerful vessel that is really here, that we chose to help us through this ascension process here on this time, on this lifetime. And these sections are broken up into different modules. And each module, it's really meant to take you deeper and deeper into another level of consciousness, or I should say into a higher level of consciousness. And there's a part of it where you're going through the understanding of it. So for instance, module 1 is awakening to your true self. There's a process that you go into. There's first of all the education of what this is. Then there's the process where you actually experience it. And then there's, what do I do next? What do I do to continue to enhance this connection, enhance this alignment with my true self, allow the awakening of my true self to be and show up in the world, the brilliance of who I am. And then module 2 goes into unleashing the limitless potential. So again, we're tapping to another layer of who you are. Potential, it's in the mind, because we're the ones that create the limits around us. So now we're addressing a different level, a different body that is connected to your other bodies, that it's entangled with your other bodies. And we are going deep into those belief systems and rewiring that so you can step into I am the best. Because nothing really is in your way unless we believe it is, or unless we create it, or unless we allow it. So it activates within you the innate ability to manifest what you want. Instead of struggle, you go into ease. Instead of hard work and efforting, you move into flow. So you harness your divine partnership here and begin to work with the universal laws, especially the law of attraction, to manifest your design. And then as you move through each module, again, you feel the upgrade, you feel yourself moving into a higher version of you. But what you're also doing is you're moving into a different timeline, a different time. So this is the ascension part of it. You're moving from who you were yesterday to the new you today, and then tomorrow you become a new version of yourself. So in module 3, as you see, it continues embodying the divine alchemy. The alchemy is the transformation that happens within you. It's the process of going from lower density to higher density. Is the process of moving into the mastery of who you are, in awakening the technology within you, the DNA at the DNA level, at the light level of who you are, and then allowing that to be who you are instead of all the other parts that were in illusion. And as you can see, it continues to move. And this process is about healing and empowerment, letting go, healing, transforming, transmuting, up-leveling, becoming. You want to be and then do so that you can have. So this process of being whoever you want to be in the world to have the kind of life that you want to have. Because again, who we are now, if we have higher goals, there's the gap there. Right? If we want to be successful, we want to be abundant, if we want to manifest true wealth, legacy wealth, generational wealth, who we are now is not enough, can't hold a container for that. So these modules are meant to, again, move you through the layers into the embodiment of who you want to be today, who you want to be tomorrow, who you want to be in a month from now, 12 months from now, so that you can hold a container and resonate with those higher versions, that higher reality. Awaken that quantum consciousness within you. So you move into understanding that you're not just the mind and the body, even if you know that already. But there's a different beingness when you move into that alignment, especially if you've already worked at these other levels. You understand that you are one, and that when you speak it, so it becomes. When you speak, your reality shapes. So you understand the power of your word, the power of your mind, the power of the frequency that you're embodying, the higher level of consciousness. It's very powerful. And again, this is a new download. Everything that I bring to the show summit, it's a new download. And this is really, really powerful. It encompasses, again, different aspects of who you are. Sometimes people come to me and they said, I've been doing a lot of this. Well, the key is doing, right? If you've been doing this work, you've been in the trying. So we want to move into I am, into the embodiment of it. And to move into the embodiment is to move into our authority, is to move into master creators, to move into master building, to move into the consciousness, a divine consciousness, the intelligence of who we are and what is available all around us. Beautiful.
A lot more modules, Maria.
Yeah. So the first package has 8 modules, and it has 3 MP3s that are a bonus part of it. So if you can see harmonizing relationships, quantum healing, nourishing your body, your temple, we talked about that's important for you to hold a higher reality. You have to have the bandwidth, the capacity to be able to hold that. And then you go into your self-actualization to become unstoppable. So now that you're clear, and now that you made these leaps and bounds, you want to be able to hold that and continue to thrive and continue to move forward. And it goes through, we talked about prosperity consciousness, because we want to bridge everything into this reality now, where we're living here in this reality. We want to be able to access the higher realms, the levels of consciousness, and bridge that awareness of those powers and manifest that into the material possessions or the life that we desire. So this is meant to do that, healing the past trauma. Again, so it's, as you can see, it goes through different layers of who we are, so that we can easily and with grace move into that alignment and be in that power, be that master creator. And package B includes package A, plus several other bonus MP3s. And it's, now you're moving into the quantum expansion, embracing your evolution, stepping out to serve who you want to serve, create the impact that you want to create, be the voice that you want to be, share the message that you want to share. And you're designing, but you're also in surrender. You're allowing your journey to unfold, but you're also living into the expectancy, because you've worked through the other layers of becoming unstoppable, activating your hidden potential. So now you're in certainty and expectancy. And module 12 is about activating your gifts and going deeper accessing the Akashic records for you to gain more information and insight of who you are and what's available to you, so that you can integrate into the now and share that with the world. So we also go into their past lives, your timelines. So this one is your superpower. We are, especially if you're a healer and that's what you do, or a light worker and that's what you do. This is very supportive to who you already are now. And living in alignment. Living in alignment is owning. It's just, I am. We were talking about being unapologetic. And this is you being apologetic, waking up in the morning and just being in love with yourself in your life. And knowing that everything that you ever wanted is already there and is showing up and showing up and showing up. So it's also living in that synchronicity, creating your extraordinary life because you can, because you have the tools to create it, because you move into the energetic alignment with it, because you can hold the energetic container for it, because you've healed whatever needed to be healed, you've integrated whatever needed to integrate for you to have it. And the life calls are meant for you to go deeper and to get to the next level. So we accelerate wherever you work through the modules, we accelerate that in the 2 calls that are live. And we also do mini healings and mini clearing. So you come in and you share what's going on with you. You add, to the container, and that also creates the healing group process. And again, it helps you accelerate what you've already integrated, the levels that you're already at, to go further. And that's the quantum acceleration.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
And get to be live with you, and you'll get to take advantage of that. When people are live, do they get to ask questions as well?
Yes, absolutely.
So in the live group session is amazing. And there'll be recordings. Those live calls begin April 4th. So y'all, package A is only $97. 2 payment option. It's pretty robust. Adding the live calls and the other modules, it takes you to $197, 2 payment option on it as well. And you get to be with Maria going through the system with her on those live calls. So potent package, and it's there for you to take advantage of if it's calling you. Again, the link is in the chat box. There's a button underneath the video where you're watching either the replay or the live call, or you can always go again to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace, and you'll find it there as well. So do take advantage of that. And I definitely want to get into the process, but I want to take a few more callers first if we can.
Absolutely.
So Layla, I see you on the call. Can we get you to unmute? Yes, you. Mm-hmm.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
So good to see you.
Hi.
Well, what is your question?
My question is about it's about eating food and binging, which has been going on for decades, and then the last 4 years since that whole shift, it's just kind of been overeating, and it feels like this is the main thing that's keeping me stuck. There's so many other good things going on for me, and this is just so challenging to make a different choice. And I'm just wondering what you might offer on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So the way, as you started talking, you said binging. An image of your abdominal area, your intestines, your digestive system showed up, and it looked very tight. Like it looked very, almost like it was winding around itself. And when I looked into what is this about, it showed me anxiety, it showed me anger, it showed me frustration, it showed me self-hatred, self-loathing. So we want to release all of those emotions. We want to reset that. We want to heal that aspect of you. And there's also a level of loneliness connected to this energy that it's just kind of winding around itself. So we'll release the emotions, but we also want to reset it. We want to unwind it. And there's also some distortion, meaning that the nutrients are not being absorbed as they should. So it almost feels like like it's clogged, like it goes to a section, especially to the area where it feels like they're winding, like twisted around each other, and it stops there. So you're not getting the full nutrition. And then there's a level of like the action and the disappointment. I did this, now I'm disappointed about it. So that's a pattern, that's a cycle that we want to release out of your field. So go ahead and take a deep breath. They've already started working with you. Your guides already started working with you. There's a lot of love coming in for you. There's also a feeling of being stuck and being trapped. I see a container around you. So it's a feeling of being in a container and not being able to get out of that container and feeling like your world is just that container. So they're going to go ahead and sort of take down all those walls around you, that container. And as they're doing that, they're already working with the abdominal area to release those emotions. There's a little bit of light language that wants to come in. So we're just going to go ahead and open up to receive it. Yeah, so this language, that language is coming in, but it's not about this lifetime. This is connected to other lifetimes. So actually, those are the lifetimes that they're working on. They're working on that release. Some of the feelings that you're holding are actually, there's a cord connected to the other lifetime of self-hate, self-loathing, loneliness, not being seen, feeling stuck, being trapped. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. This galactic energy also coming in for you. Yeah, so this is also about you coming back into your body. You've been out of your body for so long. So they're inviting you to come back into your body, to be in your body and own your body again. The self-loathing, self-hatred created the separation from you and your body. And that, kept the cycles of eating going and not receiving what you need. So they're now inviting you to come back into your body and to acknowledge your body and allow you to experience self-love for yourself. So there's the release going through your body, and the twisting of the digestive system is now untwisting. It's a little bit tilted to the side, so it's kind of being adjusted back into its place, and allowing the energy, so your center channel also allowing the energy to move freely through, so that it can actually nourish and allow you to feel connected to your physical body as well, and to your emotions, and to experience your emotions and release them. So still working with other parts of you that are not necessarily from this lifetime. And again, clearing the layers of that and healing the layers of that, and bringing you into this awareness, this knowing, into this lifetime. Go ahead and take one more deep breath, and again, allow yourself to come back into your body, fully into your body, to feel in your body, to be the authority in your body, to love your body. Yeah, I just felt a big release just fall out of you, like, ooh. How do you feel?
I just started to giggle. Yeah, I felt myself come in right there. Oh my goodness, what a gift.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Maria and John. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. And, the continuation of this is self-love, self-acceptance, and to be in your body, to love your body as you are, to know that you're so much more than what's happening around you, and to not allow any limits to be placed around you, including yourself.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. My pleasure.
Thanks, John.
It's wonderful to have you. I just want to ground in the aftercare. So Maria, this has come through this, we'll call this blast that has become available by meeting in like frequency of where we desire to be, and then being able to stabilize that frequency within ourselves. What's the follow-up to this in order to stabilize, to assimilate, and to carry it forward?
That follow-up for So part of it is, again, what we talked about, the self-love, self-care, and to move into the higher frequency of who you are, to remember, again, that you're much more than the body, and to acknowledge your feelings because they were stuck. That's why they were so twisted around you. And so you moving out of your bodies, you were rejecting, denying, not wanting to look at them. So, we are human beings as well. So we get to experience ourselves as human, with the awareness that we are also much more than that, meaning that we don't get stuck in the emotions. We don't get stuck in the trauma or the pain. We get to transcend and continue to evolve beyond that, because that's really why we experience all of that, and continue that work of who you are, continue that work of embodiment. And if you're guided, if you feel, there's something more from you, there's another level, I invite you to come into QAS to experience more of that for yourself, that empowerment, that authority within you, and to heal those deeper layers of who you are. But I mean, it feels beautiful and powerful. Just, and I see your light also feels very different. Your vibration, your aura also looks very different.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Maria, thank you. And let's continue. I feel like we should get into whatever process you're guided to guide us into.
Yes, thank you. So as I'm tuning into the group energy, there's a willingness. So yes, I want more. I'm ready for something more. But there's also a little bit of fear that is coming up. And the fear has, there's moving in different directions. What if I end up in the same place, or what if it doesn't happen for me, or what if I don't actually follow through with it, or what if I invest and then. So again, these fears that are coming up, but I can sense the willingness to embody, the willingness to ascend, the willingness to evolve, the willingness to live into joy and happiness. So we want to work with that willingness and move you across to certainty and expectancy. And that is you, again, moving you into the higher frequency of who you are, where you can fully surrender and trust. So let's do that. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and take a deep breath. Close your eyes and just allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to drop into your body, drop into your awareness. And you can turn your awareness inward. We want to recognize that higher consciousness within ourselves. You can see that as a light in the center of your head. And you can come into the light and be in the light in the center of the head. You can expand your awareness into peace and love, unconditional love and compassion. Feel that in your heart space. This is the space of receiving. This is the space of giving. This is the space of trust. So come into the space of knowing, the space of authority, into the space of trust. Feel the connection between the center of the head and your heart space. And as you're in this space, go ahead and tune into what is going on right now. All your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions about what is next for you. The new version of you, or the new vision of your life. And notice all the belief systems and all the stories and all the fears that come up. And instead of feeling resistance, I want to start moving into joy. Because when we have all these feelings, when we're ready to up level, this is the breakthrough, right? We want to know what is preventing us. Because if we know, then we can consciously move through, we can choose. If we don't know, then we feel stuck. Or we don't know where to go. So allow yourself to know. Allow yourself to know. Allow yourself to feel the insecurities, the doubts, the fears. Allow yourself to be in the space of courage. Okay, beautiful. So now we're going to take everything that you're feeling and we're going to bring it in front of you. We're going to acknowledge it. It's a part of you. And as a part of you, it really wants to support you. It's showing up because you're ready to complete it. It's showing up because you're ready to transcend. So go ahead and feel everything moving out in front of you. The fears, the doubts, insecurities, the what ifs. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And again, feel into the ease of I am safe in this moment. I am safe in this moment. And as you feel into I am safe in this moment, go ahead and release, let go, surrender it. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring beautiful white light. And let's go ahead and bring this white light around all your thoughts, all your feelings and emotions in front of you. We are surrendering them. We're giving them to Source in this moment. What we're doing is we're saying, I don't know what to do with this, but they're showing up, but I know you do. So this is the divine trust, right? Radical trust. Here you go, Source. I know that these are here for as an opportunity to help me evolve, to help me grow, but I know you can do better than I can in this moment. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. I know you know what to do, so I'm just going to give it to you. And as we surrender everything, we're creating space for something new. And we're allowing the healing to happen as well because we're not holding on to it. Go ahead and take one more deep breath and go ahead and feel into your body again and feel into any pain, any grief, any sadness, any other resistance that's within your body. For some of you, I feel it around the chest, moving down into the sacral area. So this resistance is the old cycle pattern resistance that oftentimes you hold on to because you feel unsafe, or you feel like if you venture out, you may fail, or you may not be accepted, or you may lose something. So therefore you keep yourself stuck, or you hold on to that. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. Again, we're going to move into the future. It's a blank space. It hasn't yet been created. So there's nothing to fear. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. Just go ahead and pull that out, all that fear, all that doubt, all that insecurity, all that pain, all that survival energy. So this is often connected to the ego and to the victim and to the inner child. So we're going to invite this part of us to be here now. We're going to let them know it is safe for us to do that. It is safe for us to be in this space. It is safe for us to let go. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. And as you're doing this, feel yourself elevated. You're elevating into a higher awareness. You're elevating into a new state of consciousness. You're moving from fear, victim, to I could create. I am a creator. To a new possibility, a new way of thinking, viewing the world, a new perspective. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. And as you're inviting all these little parts of you to come, you're also inviting them to just come. You're not asking anything of them. You're just asking them to come with you on this journey, this adventure, this new timeline, and just be. Feel safe with you without carrying any burdens, without having to do anything, just to be with you, to be part of you, to be part of your family, to integrate into you. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. Okay. So go ahead and feel into your physical body again. So I feel it. I feel an energy moving down into the root chakra, through the back of the spine. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. And this is old. This is old trauma, also brought in from other lifetimes, so connected to karma and to ancestral contracts. So this is something that you were carrying, something that you were playing out, something that was within your field that was showing up in your life and how you show up in life. And some of it was connected to your lack and scarcity. So when you were making decisions from lack, when you were making decisions from scarcity. So let's go ahead and lift that. Let's allow that to come up. We're going to give it back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, we're creating a clean slate. You are the master of your destiny. You're the creator of your life. And go ahead and feel your divine team around you as they're here for you, as they've always been here for you. They may appear from in front of you, all around, like as if they were creating a circle around you, as if they were creating a chamber for you, as they were creating, anchoring your new Merkaba. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. You can feel the release through your spine all the way out. Feel like the tension, the tightness in your spine also releasing. Feel the old contracts, agreements, vows also releasing. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. And again, in that awareness in the center of the head, see yourself in the light and feel the light expanding. You're moving into a higher level of awareness, a higher level of consciousness. You're moving into a higher vibration because you're recognizing who you are and you're recognizing the mastery within you, the intelligence within you to shift, to transform, to alchemize, to move into the alignment, to move into the new version of you, to move into your authority as a sovereign being. So I can see lots of layers releasing from your spirit, from your soul, from your physical body, from your emotional body, from your mental body, from your inner child. Again, the healing happening, releasing old patterns or belief systems, stagnant energy, entities that are not part of who you are, and integrating what is yours, retrieving what is yours. Go ahead and take one more deep breath. And as you're in this expansion and as they're working with you at different levels and different dimensions and different planes of existence, go ahead and feel again into the awareness of you sitting in the center of your head as the authority, as the conscious being that you are, fully in your power, and then the vision that you're bringing in, the vision that you're creating, your new goals, the new beingness, the new level of healing, the new level of embodiment. Go ahead and feel into that. And feel that pull in that direction as if there's a vector connected to you, to your field or to your third eye or to your crown or crown all the way through the heart space, just pulling you in that direction to the new beingness, to the new frequency, to the higher consciousness, to the higher vibration of who you are. And we want to, again, we're going to move that awareness through our whole body. Every aspect of us and every energetic system of us is consciousness. So we want to move it through our root chakra as well. A turn energy really moving in to work with you. Again, this is the recalibration that is happening in the bridge that is being built down, again, for you to manifest and move through and bring through into this 3D, everything that you desire, everything that you want to manifest in this reality. So go ahead and take a deep breath again. Feel into that awareness of who you are. Feel into you, the creator being. Feel into you, frequency and source intelligence and universe within you. Again, bring that in, bring that in, bring that in. And feel the expansion through your heart space and the back of the heart space. As you know, as the expansion happens, your wings coming out and expanding and reminding you of the angelic being within you, the light being within you, of who you are as a power being, ready to soar, ready to create, ready to be the authority and create more in your life, create your ideal life, your extraordinary life. Go ahead and take one more deep breath again. And let's go ahead and move that consciousness all the way through our feet. So we know that we are here in the 3D, and in the 3D we bring all of who we are, our gifts, our talents, our supernatural abilities. We bring in the higher consciousness and knowing to heal all the other parts of ourselves, to move everything else into alignment, all that we are, to expand into new higher frequencies of who we are, and to live our conscious life, to live into joy, to live into happiness, to have it all. One more deep breath. And beautiful, beautiful energy, a lot of feminine goddess energy coming in, especially working with your sacral area, root chakra, front and back. So again, reminding you that you're both masculine and feminine, to tap into that beautiful goddess energy as well, to manifest, to live in the passion of who you are, in the abundant nature of who you are. And as you're going through this process, going to keep your attention the vision that you were creating, that new intention of your life, the new beingness, and see how it comes forward and unfolds. It's like you're bringing it forward, integrating, you're up leveling, becoming, and then you move to the next level and then you become. You move into the next level and then you become. You're moving through the layers of your ascension in the now, fully aware, fully present, fully empowered now. One more deep breath. Shira kaka kashturo de diriti de kashtire me waturu makura makura na yato tiatrastakishiri. Ishayo. Lots of energy, gold energy in the top of your head. It's like you are claiming your throne, claiming your kingdom, claiming the abundance, the joy, the happiness, that perfect health within you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Go ahead and come back into your awareness when you're ready. Fully integrate that into the now moment. You are the authority. You are a sovereign being. You're the master creator. Go ahead and feel into who you are, your totality, every expression of who you are, the light, the magic, the essence, the frequency, the universe. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. One more deep breath. And feel the certainty within you now. Feel yourself leaning into certainty, into probability, into expectancy. I expect good things to happen. I expect good things to happen. I expect good things to happen. Beautiful, beautiful, huge openness in the heart space. Of course. So as I make that statement, I expect good things to happen. And the answer is of course. Of course. There's no other way. Life is beautiful. Life is amazing. It's just is beautiful, wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. Go ahead and lean into that. Be, allow, surrender. It is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. So be it. And stay. Wonderful.
Y'all, welcome back. Maria, with the special offer, how long are the modules? Someone's asking.
The modules are 15 to 25 minutes. Some of them are a little bit longer than others, but they're 15 to 25 minutes.
Wonderful. And are there experiences like this in those modules as well, in some of those?
Yes, and in the group class as well, in the live group calls.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Y'all definitely come back and go through the replay and immerse in this transmission. Dive deeper in the special offer, the links in the chat box, special offer buttons underneath the video, always on beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace. Very special offer, 2 special offers to choose from, 97 and 197. 197 includes more bonus modules and the 2 live group calls. Maria, it's been wonderful having you here. Thank you for the articulation of your explanations of how you serve to anchor in higher frequencies in multiple situations, and for sharing and offering so generously.
Thank you. My pleasure. My greatest wish for all of you is to embrace everything that's available to you, to choose for yourself and move into that authority of creation and truly own your life. Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you. My pleasure being here.
Wonderful to have you here. Everybody, is wonderful to see you on here, to feel you on here, feel you on the replays, bowing to the light in each and every one of you. Until our next call, have a blessed day.